Christene Marie. I am coming from the perspective for this show tonight from pretty much just the perspective of CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. I want to tell you all a story that I experienced, very much so surrounding this topic. We're talking about affordable digital marketing strategies for trades businesses, but frankly, a lot of other local service businesses use this tactic as well. And so I want to tell us a very specific story to drive a point home, which is going to help you decide if this is a lead stream that you want to use moving forward. And the reason why this story is important is because for face value, it sounds like an amazing opportunity. And it's one that one's particular client had really bought into. And so, and frankly, it's not just one particular client. It's that a lot of clients that I've interacted with are being sold to even just today, I got off the phone with a roofing company out of Phoenix, and they're being sold to by a fractional CMO, someone just like me, and they're coming in and they're not taking the time to know the business, and they're selling these solutions that frankly maybe they'll be a good fit, but they're not taking the time to first know the business, first know the problems, to first know what has worked, what they've tried, what has failed, in order to then be able to give a real true diagnostic of this is how we can move forward. So many vendors, so many companies are offering quick fixes, and hey, try this, and in 60 days, you'll get 150 leads, for example. And that sounds great. It really, really, really does. Even more so, and I actually looked at this gentleman's proposal. He sent a proposal to a roofing company here in Phoenix, and he said, at $175 a lead, I'm going to get you appointments set at between $400 and $600 cost per appointment. And that sounds pretty reasonable. He even sent a calculator showing his math. But here's the thing. And actually, before I tell you the problem with that, I'm going to tell you the story. I came in as chief marketing officer for a trades business, and I'm fractional, right? So I'm coming in very truly in a third party position. And my process for every single client we work with is to take an outside perspective. We go in and we do a discovery period where we really, really get to know the business. We analyze as much data as we can possibly get our hands on. We get access to the website analytics. We get access to the Google ads, to Facebook ads, every single thing that they're doing, from traditional marketing to paid digital marketing. We talk to people on the staff, key stakeholders, as well as junior staff, to really understand who is this business. We take a poll and survey across the entire employee database. And then we also take a survey of the customers. So in this process, we get to know the brand, we get to know their customers, and we get to know their data. And in this process, we really understand, okay, this is what they've tried. This is what is working. This is what's not working. This is what could be tried. And then we move forward with creating a marketing plan for them to implement. But that marketing plan is only after deep, deep discovery and deep analysis of the business. And not just, again, the business, but who the brand is and who the customers are. Because one of the things that is so important for trades businesses is that they analyze, as they're growing geographically, they can't just do a one-size-fits-all marketing tactic, and even branding play. The messaging needs to adjust and the marketing needs to adjust based on if they're in the city or the rural areas. They need to consider how long have they been in those markets versus are they brand new. The tactics change, and the tactics change because the people change. And that's exactly how it goes. We don't If we came to a personal relationship with the exact same approach we approached another one with, it'd be like a lot of times trying to bang a round square peg, or a square peg into a round hole. And sometimes it's not a good fit. And so we need to know when to step away and say, hey, look, this isn't a good relationship for us to pursue. So, all that to say, in this process of doing a deep dive into the business, one of the lead generation tactics that we uncovered was affiliate marketing. And for those of you who don't know what this is, effectively, a vendor had come to them and said, I am going to sell you leads for a very, very cheap cost. And then all you have to do is close them, book the appointment and close the lead. And they're already qualified. They came in through a website. And so effectively, what these affiliate companies are doing is they've set up landing pages, they've set up their own Google Ads accounts, and they're going in and competing with yours for a customer. And then they're going and selling you that lead that they captured. Sounds fair, right? And all's fair in love and war, as they say. Here's where we ran into some issues, and it was only in digging into the data that we uncovered these issues. So one of the things that we do in meeting with the company and their team and the customers is that we also meet with all the vendors to really understand what exactly are you doing for this company, and are you doing your job, and is there anything that we need to do to help you do your job better? Is there anything that frankly you could maybe test out or try to help you move faster, or really move the needle in what you're doing? And so what we found was that in capturing these leads and then them selling them to us, we were getting cheaper leads from this affiliate vendor than we were anywhere else. We were getting them cheaper than Facebook leads. We were getting them cheaper than Google leads, YouTube leads, Microsoft Bing leads. And in that process, everybody was like looking at this as the new shining object. They have just found this affiliate vendor the year prior to us joining. So they were like the new kid on the block. It was very, very exciting. They were in love with this vendor. And so I came in eager and excited to love them too. And at first blush, the data looked amazing. They were getting, I believe it was $140 leads. $140 leads where they were traditionally getting $250 leads from Google. Obviously, it's almost to the point, it's that much cheaper. It's almost to the point, just turn it all off. Like, turn off Google, go spend all of our money on affiliate. It was insane. And that's the direction they've been going. They've been taking more and more money from Google and Facebook to pay for these affiliate leads. And as I started diving deep, we've been talking over the last couple of weeks around how, looking at the customer journey, we look at it in buckets. So the lead comes in, we've got the lead, that's bucket one. And then we try to transition the lead to the appointment. So they're now no longer a cold lead. Now we've scheduled an appointment with them. So that's bucket number 2. And then bucket number 3 is they're sold and their job is going to the back end office. And so they're kind of in that negotiation period. Back end office has them, and they're kind of in that handoff between, okay, we're designing your job, we're sold, but we also haven't fulfilled on the job yet. So that's bucket number 3. And then bucket number 4 is fulfillment. Bucket number 5 is they're done their job. So I began analyzing the leads coming in from affiliates versus the leads coming in from Google, because I wanted to understand how many leads were making it, yes, to the lead stage. We love getting a $140 lead, but how many of these leads were actually making it to the appointment stage? And then how many of them were actually making it to the sold bucket? Whether they're kind of in the design phase, they're in bucket 3. And what I found was that there was a lot of leakage from the lead to the appointment bucket. There was like a 60 to 70% leakage. And so I met with the customer call center team, and I was like, why are we losing so many leads in this process to the appointment? Like, we're really not able to get in touch with a lot of folks. And they were like, we know that's actually part of the process and problem with affiliate leads is that they sell us the lead. The lead did fill out the form and request, a home service appointment, but we cannot get in touch with them. We call and nobody answers. And it's like pulling teeth. And so, I have to sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. And so there's a, 70% leakage into that bucket, into the appointment bucket. It's like, okay. So then I went and analyzed all of the appointments and how many of those are actually valuable? How many of those actually move into the sold category? And out of all of those appointments, there was an even bigger leakage. It was about 80% leaked and did not make it into the next bucket. So, what was once a $140 lead, yep, became around a $900 appointment. And then when I was looking at this, y'all, I'm not kidding you, a $140 lead turned into a $900 appointment, turned into an $1,800 sold job. The cost of what we were selling that service cost less than that lead, less than that sold job. We were only selling services around $1,600 at that point. So we were effectively paying to do work for our customers. And y'all, this is the problem. At face value, this affiliate lead looked way better than a Google lead. This is the power of data. This is the power of following the yellow brick road to not just say, okay, well, yeah, that's a pretty high appointment cost, but are we actually closing this lead? Are they actually, this is looking at the quality of leads coming in from Google, leads coming in from our own brand that we have nurtured versus them being sold to us and they've never heard of our company before. So, take a look at the entire lead journey, please. Because when we're talking about affordable digital advertising, sometimes the most affordable tactics can end up costing us the very most. So, that is the show that I have for you tonight. Not to end on a bad note, come back tomorrow because I'm going to tell you what to do instead. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I will see you tomorrow on the Daily Conversations in the Trades.